Bad air. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. We've often heard about the potential cost to our health, but what about the cost to our pockets, or to the global economy as a whole? The new study by the World Bank uses 2013 figures previously put out by the World Health Organization, which show that air pollution prematurely kills 5.5 million people each year. That makes it the fourth leading cause of premature death. The World Bank calculates that even without taking into account the medical cost of treating those people when they're sick, their illnesses cost the global economy nearly $250 billion in lost workdays. And when economists factor in the cost of welfare, based on what people are willing to pay to avoid dying from air pollution, they get the $5 trillion figure.
Our estimate does not account for other costs. We don't look at the loss in agricultural productivity that occurs because of air pollution. We don't look at, that there is now evidence to show that children are born prematurely because of air pollution, and that with low weight that leads to stunting and other consequences. So the costs are likely to be even higher.
The report also says excessive levels of smog are taking an especially high toll on developing countries. First, look at China. 10% of GDP, says the report, lost due to air pollution. India, more than 7.5%, and nearby Sri Lanka and Cambodia, around 8% each.
This is really, the reason we did this report, because we want to show countries what the cost of inaction is. And we are seeing that all these countries are acting. China has declared a war on pollution, right? We see the action from the countries. We want to strengthen the case for taking action. We want them to do even more to deal with this challenge.
The report also notes that nearly all of the air pollution-related deaths, 93%, occurred in developing countries for two reasons. One, more cars, and two, people there are still burning solid sources of fuel for cooking and heating. Interestingly, some countries like the US and the UK have actually managed to reduce their economic losses over the last 20 years as they've reduced domestic emissions. Perhaps a lesson to be drawn in the wake of the recent historic Paris climate deal and what that may eventually mean for the global economy. Rowie Ruttenberg, CCTV in Washington.